All right, well, Clever Leaves has pledged to donate $25 million worth of medical cannabis from Colombia in an effort to kickstart research into the benefits of cannabinoids after decades of delays. The announcement coming on the back of news that the DEA is expanding the number of cultivators to grow cannabis for research in the U.S. And here with more is Cheddar's cannabis reporter Chloe Aiello. Chloe, it's good to see you, and I'm going to send things over to you.
Thanks, Kristen. Well, I'm joined now to discuss all of this by Clever Leaves CEO Kyle Detwiler. Kyle, thank you so much for joining us today. I want to ask about this project Change Lives. Why have you decided to donate $25 million worth of cannabis to medical research?
Well, I think the motivation is for a couple reasons. The reason we got into this industry is to help patients. And to do that, the United States is really sitting on a very sort of contradictory position with regards to cannabis. And there are no American cannabis companies which legally can cater to pharmaceutical research in this sector. But because we have a federally legal business based in Colombia, Portugal, Germany, et cetera, we viewed this as an opportunity for Clever Leaves to change the game. Up until recently, there's really only one source for federally legal cannabis in the United States, which is the University of Mississippi. And that product is generally lower in THC potency than what you might find in a normal dispensary. And it's also only in flower format, whereas our facilities have been GMP inspected, effectively certified by some of the most stringent European pharmaceutical authorizations out there. And so we viewed this as an opportunity to change the game and step into the United States and start to catalyze research to drive this industry forward.
I want to ask, because $25 million is nothing to sneeze at, how will this donation directly benefit Clever Leaves business?
Well, first and foremost, this is what I view to be probably one of the largest, if not the largest, charitable and scientific initiatives in the cannabis industry to date. We'll have to go look and see if we can find examples of other organizations giving away this amount of product with no strings attached, but I think this will be one of the most significant. Now, so that does a couple things. First, it drives the industry forward. We want people to understand, what's in cannabis, what's driving some of the therapeutic benefits that they have, and we want researchers in the United States to begin studying this just as if it was any other, pharmacological product. I think selfishly for Clever Leaves, we run a for-profit company. We want to be part of that IP revolution. Hopefully that enables us to, cater to more drug development in the future. But in no small measure is this amount a big amount. We want to take the question of what's the cost of product off the table for researchers that want to push on cannabis science. And so this should hopefully bring a number of new research projects forward.
Now, to actually import this cannabis, you've partnered up with biopharmaceutical research company, which has twice before received federal approval to import cannabis and is now on the way to having a DEA permit to actually cultivate cannabis for research. But my question to you is there a guarantee that these projects will be greenlighted as well and that you'll actually be able to bring this cannabis into the U.S. from Colombia?
Well, the lucky answer to that question is we've already done it. So, this has really been years in the making. We are advised by former U.S. Senate Majority Leader Senator Tom Daschle, and he and his organization have helped us chart that path. And we have actually brought psychoactive cannabis, high THC cannabis that is, into the United States, working with BRC before. So now we're really, now that those pipes are working, we're really just talking about expanding a conduit which we have already established.
Absolutely. Now, I do want to talk about, inter-country trade here, because obviously Canada has legal cannabis to the north. And Mexico, I believe, is on the verge of legalizing tomorrow adult use cannabis. But of course, cross-border movement of cannabis is not yet legal. It's highly restricted. When do you think that might actually change? And could projects like yours help this situation?
Well, we certainly hope that we can help. Clever Leaves is already exporting to approximately 15 countries globally. In the last month, we've announced our first shipments to the country of Mexico underneath their pharmaceutical and medical program. We've also announced our first shipment of dried flower from Portugal to Australia. So this is really beginning, but the U.S. is being left behind. I'm the CEO of a company which has the vast majority of its assets outside of North America, but I am an American, and I feel like the U.S. pharmaceutical industry, as well as the cannabis industry, is missing out on this amazing opportunity. So, we don't really, need to care where the product is coming from, but what we want is to deliver to patients something that's consistent, high quality, that has been inspected by leading European pharmaceutical agencies, and that's exactly what this $25 million pledge creates.
Kyle, thank you so much for joining us today. That's Clever Leaves CEO Kyle Detwiler. Kristen, tossing it back to you.
All right, Chloe, thank you so much for that fascinating interview. That is Cheddar's cannabis reporter, Chloe Aiello.